Why Dutch Bros isn't a coffee company. Dutch Bros didn't win by making better coffee. They won by understanding what people actually want in modern life. It's not a coffee company. It's an energy and human interaction business disguised as one. Okay? And if I were a betting man, I would invest in this company. If you're somebody with some side money right now and you'd like to make a play, and this isn't financial advice, but I'm telling you right now, this is a healthy, beautiful company. And what makes it interesting isn't the vibe, but it's the incentives that run underneath it. And I'm going to explain that in more detail with the episode. But first, this is the Executives Playbook. My name is Tom Kane. I love money. I love talking about money. I love talking about entrepreneurship and business. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit the little bell. Like the video, comment underneath it, all that good stuff. But Dutch Bros, what a tremendous company. And I want to get into telling you why. Let's go. All right, so first, I want to get into what Dutch Bros is actually selling, why the model scales, and why it fits a form of woke capitalism, which I'm your favorite woke capitalist, that works with human behavior instead of pretending that humans don't exist. So this is not me just trying to do a review or praise the company in any way, but I love talking about businesses. No one paid me to do this. But I love it when a business just does it right. And I want to get into telling you why. First and foremost, I want to tell you they're not a coffee business. They're just not. Okay? Dutch Bros is optimized for speed over ambience, repetition over romance, and recognition over refinement. And all of those things go completely the opposite direction of Starbucks. Completely opposite. In fact, there's a lot of people that would complain about Dutch Bros by saying that they don't like the fact that it's all about transaction speed and that they don't like the fact, you know, maybe they feel the customer service that they get is fake or whatever. There's people who complain about it, but the thing is, it doesn't matter to Dutch Bros because they're not a cafe. They're not a cafe, and they're not trying to market themselves as one. They deliberately removed seating. They deliberately got rid of focusing on atmosphere, wanting customers to linger and hang out and all that crap, because they're not building a cafe. They're selling a very predictable emotional lift at a very specific moment of the day. The product that they're selling isn't taste. It isn't coffee. The product is how you feel for 30 seconds. That decision alone explains almost everything else from top to bottom with this company and why it wins. The cultural move that most companies keep missing is that right now, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, and I would even argue maybe even some millennials rather on the younger side, they're not into deep conversation. They don't care about community. They're not looking for intimacy. They're not interested in any of that shit. They just want eye contact. They want to give their name. They want the person to be high energy and positive when they get their service. And then you move on. Because we live in a culture today where people are rushed. We're in a hurry. We don't have time for all that bullshit. We're trying to get to work. We're trying to hurry up and get to a meeting where we have, Zoom meetings and every second of the day we're hustling. You need 2 or 3 hustles to survive in today's culture. People are busy. They don't have time for all that nonsense. And then on top of that, people are lonely and have social anxiety. They don't want to have to have some performative conversation with somebody behind the counter. They're overstimulated. They're constantly on their phone. They're being hit with memes and reels and all these different types of things. And in a lot of cases, they're just emotionally flat. And this is the exact amount of humanity that people can tolerate and repeat what Dutch Bros is providing. That's not accidental. This is a choice. They are actually smart enough to understand and market themselves as the solution to be able to meet the need of today. That's cultural collaboration in a way that, Starbucks did 35 years ago. At the time that Starbucks came out, and I actually did an entire dissertation on Starbucks in college, in my marketing school, or in my marketing course in college, and I loved Starbucks for what they did on a corporate scale and how, they built the company, how Schultz built the company out, the way he did, and how he understood the need of the day. And it was great then. It's not great now. It's actually losing now. They're closing, I believe there was an announcement recently, they're closing 1 to 2% of their stores, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot when you consider how many stores they have, right? But they're losing because that worked then. It does not work now. There's been a major cultural shift, and Dutch Bros is meeting that need. And, here's what they don't do, right? Most companies demand friendliness while pretending it's free. They want their employees to have this performative friendliness and all this nonsense. But no, Dutch Bros, it's like they're not hiring for personality. They're not training you for performance. They're not making friendliness your job. And that's genius. That's genius in today's market, because that's what people want. They don't sit there and try to call it authenticity, that the person really cares about you. Oh my God, look at my, look at the customer support you're getting. We really care about you. They know you don't care about them. And Dutch Bros doesn't try to pretend. They don't pretend it's spontaneous. They don't pretend it's authentic. They treat emotional labor as real labor, because that's what it is. That's what it is. And the people that work there know that that's what it is. They're there to work and get paid. That's all they're doing, is serving you your coffee. And that's it. And that level of honesty is why the culture that is why the culture scales instead of collapsing, because it's honest. It's honest. And this is what woke capitalism actually looks like. And again, I'm your favorite woke capitalist, I hope. It's not about slogans. It's not about theater. It's not about performative bullshit. Okay? Woke capitalism done correctly means that you're internalizing human realities instead of externalizing them. Dutch Bros does this in several ways, and I'll explain you what they are. One of the ways is that they invest in people instead of optimizing them away, while others race toward kiosks and automation. They kind of made humans their advantage, but they didn't do it in a performative, loud way. They're not like actively coming out like, we care about people, we hire people, we don't use machines. They're not in your face with their performative bullshit. They care about upward mobility within the company. A lot of Gen Zers and a lot of young millennials, they really believe in fast promotion, and they believe in where you rise up through the ranks, where you might be an operator who started at the window, and then all of a sudden, you're getting promoted very quickly and very rapidly based on your performance. Wow. That's really a new idea and concept, huh? And there's access to compounding opportunity within the company. But again, they don't come right out and just say this crap. They actually they just do it subtly. And to me, that's what woke capitalism is. It's caring about the incentives, caring about humanity, caring about these things, but quietly, and doing it in a way that actually does help in those areas, without having to turn it into a performative marketing billboard that you're trying to, oh, look at us, we care about people. That's done, dude. That is so done. Nobody in business, nobody cares about that crap anymore. Nobody wants to see like a little girl driving down the street in a moped and she wins the race and it says equality, Audi, buy Audi. We believe in equal pay. I mean, come on, dude. Like, these corporations got to stop with this nonsense. Dutch Bros, they monetize joy without stripping dignity. There's no humiliation. There's no shame. There's no extraction disguised as efficiency. They simply just make money without making any particular person or group of people feel small. And that's rare. In 2026, that is rare. And if you ask me, that is how young people view the world. That's what they want. That is what they want. They don't want all that other nonsense. And look, you never hear about Dutch Bros, oh, they're environmentally radical. They're not. They're not sitting there being politically transformative. No one cares. They're not challenging the system. They're not trying to be heroes. In fact, even better than heroes, they're useful. Dutch Bros is useful. They fit the need of giving you what you need without anything more and without anything less so that you can get on with your day. And that's what people want. That is choosing humane efficiency over ruthless optimization, which is something that I think that all these businesses out there, you got to learn from this. You got to learn from this. I mean, look, they've opened over 800 locations. I believe, especially because they have these small, that's the other thing, even though they're not environmentally radical, they make these small little locations. And they take up very little space, which makes them capable of being able to be, you can open one anywhere. I mean, they're so small. They require very, very little space. And that is something that actually is environmentally friendly, to be honest. But again, it's subtle. They're not trying to shove it in your face. They're just doing all the right things underneath, internally. And they're not seeking external validation by exploiting this overly performative political nonsense and narrative. It's like, how many companies fail not because they lack innovation, but because they just simply refuse to design around what people actually want and how they actually live? And that's what Dutch Bros is doing. And that's why they're winning big time. And I do believe they're going to be the next Starbucks in that they're going to explode. I think that right now they have 800 locations. I think if in my opinion, I think that you could see this company jump 5,000 locations very rapidly. Now, I don't know if that's what they plan to do internally. I don't know. But I do know that this company has the potential to explode and create wealth for investors in ways that we have never seen. Or no, we have seen it with Starbucks, but in ways we haven't seen since. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Look, as a woke capitalist, I feel like it's my duty to spread good information, or to spread the information about these amazing companies that are just doing it right. They're just doing it right in every possible way that you can do it right. Big fan of this company. Big shout to Dutch Bros. Again, this is not a paid advertisement. Nobody told me to do this. I just love talking about money and success and businesses and entrepreneurship. And I just love to see when things come out and just do it right. I love it. It makes me happy. And I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy doing it, and I'm going to do it every day. So please subscribe to my channel, like, comment. There's going to be many more videos where I talk about all kinds of stuff like this. So if you like this content, man, let's go. But again, my name is Tom Kane. The Executives Playbook is the name of my show. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Thanks.